Once again, my name is Beatrice Addo. Thank you very much for joining us. Former Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, Chachu Chikata, has been acquitted and discharged of willfully causing financial loss to the state. This is the outcome of a suit filed at the Court of Appeal challenging his sentence by the Eswa Kufuor administration. In his grounds of appeal filed at the Court of Appeal on June 30, 2016, Mr. Chikata averred that the verdict that led to his imprisonment was unreasonable and not supported by evidence. He said the trial judge erred in law in deciding that financial loss had been caused simply because payment of monies had been made by the GNPC. The trial judge, according to Mr. Chikata, also erred in law in referring to extraneous matter that was not part of the record in her judgment. My colleague Joseph Akable was in court. He's been speaking to Mr. Chikata and his wife Esther Koba after today's ruling and will bring us that interview later. Now, the presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, Nana Addo, has condemned what he describes as divisive tribal politics that has characterized this year's electioneering period. Nana Addo, who has been addressing the press in the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi, says, "We are all Ghanaians and therefore there's no need for that." His comment is coming with just 6 days to the general elections, with a lot of intensified political activities across the country. Reporter Erastus Asaridonko is at that program. He joins us live on the phone with details. Erastus, what more has the NPP leader been saying?
Well, basically, he's been touching on the economy, and he started by saying that the campaign for the NPP is being brought to an end in the Ashanti region, and he was supposed to have a rally here, but due to the ban on noise making, he cannot do that. So he wants to share a few words with the people of Kumasi and Ashanti region. And then he says he doesn't understand why some people are focusing their campaign on his image, and but says that he will not focus his campaign on anybody's image. If they have something to say, well, he has never killed, he has never stolen anything before. The rest is rhetoric, and so they can go ahead and tarnish his image. He also has been talking about the responsibility towards our country, and that we cannot afford to concentrate on ethnocentric and religious division and such things are politics of yesterday. He says the Eastern and Western corridor will be opened up to ensure easy transportation of foodstuffs under his administration, and he says that he will not build infrastructure that will be sitting there. He will build infrastructure that will contribute to productivity and enhance people's lives. He has also been touching on the economy, and he says since the tenure of the president, the economy has been shrinking since 2012, and he will ensure that he does something about it when he comes to power. Then finally, he was talking about the high five, which has gained quite notoriety about how to vote with him on the ballot. And he says the high five is a bit confusing. People should rather concentrate on the logo and the symbol of the party, which is the elephant, and he believes that that will work for the party.
Erastus, during the program, and especially after he finished speaking, I realized that a lot of people were making comments. Some others were asking questions. What exactly was the reaction in these, interactions?
Well, the questions have been based on what he would do for farmers, especially because since the Ashanti region has a larger number of farmers, people who grow cocoa and other things. And he was saying that he's going to expand the economy. He is not going to toe the line of the NDC government. He's going to ensure that freebies to farmers are made available to everybody and is brought to their doorstep to ensure productivity. So basically, that's what he's been talking about.
Thank you very much. Erastus Asaridonko reporting live from the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi, regarding a press conference held by the flag bearer of the opposition NPP, condemning what he describes as tribal electioneering period, tribal comments by political parties. Now, Roads and Highways Minister Yunusa Fuseni has noted government will continue to invest in the road sector to make life easy for Ghanaians. Mr. Inusa, who was speaking on behalf of the president at the opening of the Kaswa interchange, indicated the project is part of a total 30-kilometer road construction works underway in the Wutusenya district, expected to bring relief to commuters in the area.
The Kasua interchange is a 780-meter flyover with provisions for pedestrian underpasses at both ends of the flyover. Under the project, 2 other interchanges at Galilea and the CP junctions are being constructed to provide access to local traffic across the main highway. In Kasua, we are rehabilitating about 30 kilometers of roads within the Awutu Sanya East Municipal Assembly area. Mr. Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the substantial completion of the main Kasua interchange shall bring relief to commuters on this corridor. This is to enable the contractor concentrate on other parts of the project. Mr. Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of the government and the good people of Ghana, thank the government of Brazil, the contractors, Menace, Construtora Quiro Gavao, SA of Brazil, the supervisors, and all other stakeholders for their efforts in realizing the completion of this phase of the project. I hope the contractor and the supervision team shall attach the same zeal and diligence in ensuring that the rest of the works are completed on schedule. I hereby declare the Kasua interchange duly opened. God bless you, and God bless our homeland, Ghana, unquote.
The Roads Minister says the opening of the flyover paves way for contractors working on the project to work on the ground level.
I am filled with much joy today on the opening of the main flyover of the Kasua interchange and ancillary works. This is necessary to allow through traffic use the main flyover so that the contractor can work on the ground level. I am happy that the team working on this project has kept faith with the timelines that were given when the sod was cut on this project 2 years ago. They assured me that the main interchange will be completed in October 2016, and they have kept to that timeline. As indicated earlier, the Kasua interchange is a multifaceted project targeted at bringing relief to the traveling public, especially those that use the main Kasua-Winneba Road. The gridlock, which could be as long as 5 kilometers, had major implications for commuters to the central and western regions, as well as other connecting routes to the rest of the country. The main interchange is to lift the through traffic above the local traffic and improve travel times on the main road.
The entire interchange is expected to be ready by the first quarter of next year. Now, a third floating production, storage and offloading vessel is expected to completely end Ghana's power crisis. That's according to the Finance Minister, Seth Terkper, who was speaking on behalf of President Mahama at the official launch of the Export and Import Exim Bank. Indicated the FPSO is 80% complete. He stated it will stabilize the power situation whilst boosting the production capacities of small and medium-scale enterprises. Maxwell is at the official launch and joins me on the phone lines with some details. Maxwell, what can you report on this?
Well, Beatrice, as it stands right now, the second session of the program is currently ongoing. The launch has already been done. But speaking on behalf of the president, Mr. Setstepe, the finance minister, says the third FPSO will be stationed at the Cape 3 point in the western region for the Sankofa and Giname oil and gas project. It is expected to arrive in the country next year, as you rightly stated. He bemoaned the power situation that Ghanaians suffered some few months ago and said that the coming of the third FPSO would completely mitigate the power situation and then stabilize the power situation. Now, before the launch of the Exim Bank, he's been talking about some of the enormous benefits of the launch of this bank. He says it will support and develop trade between Ghana and other countries whilst building Ghana's capacity and competitiveness in the international community. It also says the bank would provide credit facilities or other forms of financial services in respect of international trade, and also provide guarantee to exporters and people who work in the import and export business. So for those in that sector, it is good news for them, and the launch of the Exim Bank will certainly be good news for a lot of them. Now, there have been questions already as to whether the bank will not be losing its focus. The question came up on the floor about some other banks like the Greek Development Bank losing focus. But we've gotten some assurances from the minister here saying that no, the Exim Bank would not lose focus and will stick to the main purpose for which it was established. And
indeed, talking about the exporters, Maxwell, I was coming to that. What have they been saying? Because experts say that they should be the ones to benefit most in the launch of this Exim Bank.
Yes, well, some of them, there's a question time session going on right now. So some of these issues are coming up about how it is difficult for them to access loans from certain banks. And they are expressing optimism that with the coming of this Exim Bank, they believe strongly that they will be able to access these credit facilities easily. But the concern has been that they will not stick, the Exim Bank itself will not stick to its mandate. But their fears have been allayed, and a lot of them are excited about the idea that the bank would stick to its focus and the main reason for which it was established.
Thank you very much, Maxwell Agbagba, there reporting live from Accra. You're still here on News Today on Joy News, your election headquarters. Stay with us. We'll be back with more. Welcome back to News Today on Joy News, your election headquarters. Security agencies in the Ashanti region have assured political parties of their preparedness to work in harmony to address all electoral-related infractions in the region. At a stakeholder meeting attended by the Electoral Commission and representatives of political parties in Kumasi, the agencies promised to cooperate with all stakeholders to ensure peaceful elections.
That give us the benefit of the doubt. Don't take the law into your own hands. We will work fairly, firmly, and all electoral infractions will be attended to decisively and with the alacrity that it deserves. We will not give room for anybody to take the law into his own hands. But if you decide to interfere with the electoral process, as I've already said, that is tantamount to trying to upset the democratic dispensation. And in that way, the police, and for that matter, the security will deal with you accordingly and in an appropriate and commensurate manner.
Well, the Upper West Regional Security Task Force has rolled out its security deployment plan for the December polls. According to the chairman of the task force, DCOP Kwesi Mensah Duku, the task force will deploy security men to all the 991 polling stations in the region. In addition, it will station 3 patrol teams at vantage points in the region to enable officers to attend to any emergency security issue that may crop up on voting day. Rafik Salam reports.
The purpose of the emergency meeting held by members of the Upper West Regional Security Task Force is to brief stakeholders, especially the Electoral Commission, political parties and the media about their deployment plan towards the December 7 polls. Upper West Chairman of the Election Security Task Force, DCOP Kwesime Soduku, who also doubles as the Upper West Police Commander, set the ball rolling, assuring the political parties that they will create an even playing field for all of them. He warned they will deal ruthlessly with any security personnel who will go contrary to the laws governing the conduct of the election.
They are security officers, so they have to comport themselves very well. Please, you tell them nobody to accept any gift at the police centers. No, don't entertain anybody, any drunkard, any policeman who misconduct himself. We'll go and drink. We'll make sure that anybody who misconduct himself is punished. We are not going to condone any indiscipline. You see policemen collecting food from other side. Please, they should avoid that. They have been given ration. They are supposed to feed themselves. They are not supposed to collect anything from anybody.
Deputy Upper West Police Commander, ACP Dr. Shaibu Garba, stated that the number of hotspots in the region have now increased from 3 to 5. He added that they will keep an eagle eye on all the 991 polling stations in the region, including 3 patrol teams that will be stationed at vantage points to enable them attend to any security issue. That
we need to watch Laura. Then we also need to watch Jirapa. Then we should put our eyes on Wa Central. Then, of course, Wa East. I hope the police commander, you are here. Then you go into the next one, Sisala East. So these are the issues that is coming on board now. We have put patrol teams in what? Laura. Also strategically, we have put patrol team in, instead of Wa East, which is Fosi. And strategically, we have also put patrol team in Sisala East. So the reason, this actually informs the reason why we are putting centralized patrols at our flag point, so that we'll have the capability to be able to withstand to any call.
Some security personnel in the region have raised red flags regarding their names missing on the special voters register. Upper West Regional Director of the EC, Azuboscos, stated that they were aware of their concerns and were working to correct it.
Those who have transferred their votes and they are having their ID cards here and their names are seen in the registers there. You see, they look at the number of people in the registers and distribute the ballots. So if they bring you here to vote, you reduce the number of ballots you have for this region. So they will have to send you back there to go and vote. So they should have transferred your vote earlier on to enable us and include you in our register. So once you have transferred your vote, it means that you are part of those Upper West region to vote. So we are doing the calculation, we don't give the 5% for that is okay.
Reporting for Joy News, Rafik Salam.
It will be commissioned by the president today. I'm talking about the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, described as a world-class healthcare facility. The new edifice is the first phase of a 620-bed facility expected to deliver quality healthcare to clients. Hanodame report it will serve as a fully functional ultramodern facility with intensive care and daycare beds, providing healthcare services in medical and surgical specialties and subspecialties.
This is the first phase of the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, and it's a 420-bed capacity to expand healthcare facilities and also give people of Accra access to healthcare delivery. But how beneficial will this be to the citizens? With me is Thomas Anaba, who is the medical director of this new edifice. Welcome to Joy News, sir.
Thank you very much.
Obviously, this is huge, and we know that it's going to give a lot of access to people. But what other benefits are we expected to derive from this facility?
Yeah, besides providing a health service to clients who will be falling sick, we'll also be providing a platform for training institutions in Ghana to bring their students here to learn.
So remind us of some of the facilities that we have in this new edifice.
In this new edifice, from the project that has just finished, we have 5 main buildings. The main building that has the 420 beds with other facilities. We have the utility building that has the oxygen plant to generate oxygen for us, the laundry, the canteen, and all the stores. We have the School of Anesthesia, which is incorporated into this to train the nurse anesthetists to help improve self-delivery, the quality of self-delivery in Ghana. We also have what we call staff accommodation with 42 apartments, so that critical staff who attend to emergencies will stay within the hospital and quickly attend to. We also have a place to take care of our corpse decently, whereby if you come to a very beautiful place in this building to come to the world, you also have a beautiful place to depart from the world. So from the basement of this facility, we have the emergency department that has 42 beds. Currently we have 6 beds, but we are moving to 42 beds with various sections to attend to different cases of different gravity. So they are segregated in a way that treatment would be concentrated adequately. Close to it, we have what we call the Imaging and Diagnostic Center that is equipped with an 4D ultrasound, fluoroscopy, MRIs, CT scans, and all these things are based on digital platform. There is no printing of images. It's all going to be digital to all the desktop of the doctors to have a look at it. We also have
you mean such as X-rays and all of that?
Yes, it's all to be digital. It comes to the computer of the doctor. You request for it, it comes back to you, then you have a look at it. We also have close to it 4 theaters just for the emergency. Currently we don't have an emergency theater, so therefore elective cases who come sometimes are cancelled just because there's an emergency, and this is a frustration, and the turnaround time is not good, so patients don't feel comfortable.
Now, the drivers of a DAF trailer and an Iveco tipper truck narrowly escaped death after the two were involved in a terrible accident this morning at the Banyard traffic light near Awoshi, which is along the N1 highway. The traffic was jammed for almost an hour on that stretch before the way was cleared.
It was believed to have happened at about 5:30 a.m. Wednesday, 30th November. Eyewitness accounts suggest the DAF trailer, which was loaded with bags of cement, was moving at top speed, heading towards the Tetekwashi interchange. The traffic light at the time showed amber, which required that the trailer driver slowed down to observe the movement of traffic before proceeding, but failed to do so. The driver of the tipper truck, loaded with sand, who was also at the time making a U-turn at the traffic light, failed to take note of the trailer heading his direction. The driver of the DAF trailer, unable to apply his brake in time, ran directly into the side of the Iveco tipper truck, shoving it off the road, causing it to land on its side. The two ended up spilling their content onto the road.
Trailer na load cement no, and upon by 5:30 no. Na trailer na load cement no. Ofi fence la pass kwan so e kwa ni say. Enti no na traffic light blink say.
The trailer was coming from the La Paz direction and was speeding, though the traffic light showed amber. The other driver was making a U-turn but couldn't, and the trailer ran into it.
Now, trailer do load cement no obetwemu. To we na anya abotre. Na we so U-turn so wentima anya fast entry U-turn ye. I saw okonechi. Nti we so eba yes ano. Wentima ambo brake ni ye na de be pem no.
Mpacho me so me tipper driver me wo Abrekuma tipper station and me driver honum na no pay me ko se me ko ye adwuma ti me duro be ye na one of your drivers.
I am a tipper driver at Abrekuma. I reported to work this morning and I was told one of my colleagues was involved in an accident at the Banyard traffic light. I got there and it was true. The driver is currently at the hospital. He is yet to make a formal complaint at the police station.
Traffic on that stretch was held up for almost an hour until the police arrived at the accident scene. A towing vehicle later managed to tow both vehicles off the road, making way for traffic to flow.
And education is advocating formal training for middle-level technicians to enhance their full potential. Headmistress of Kumasi Girls Senior High School, Margaret McDavis Jonas, observes inadequate training for technicians limit them in their performance. Kwesi Debra reports.
According to Madam McDavis, Ghana's failure to pay more attention to technical and vocational education should be blamed for high incidence of unemployment among the youth. She believes the country will become investment haven once government pays attention to training of middle-level technicians. She was speaking at the 55th graduation ceremony of Mansell College in Kumasi. It was under the theme, Vocational and Technical Education and Training, the nation's hope for guaranteed employment.
Few middle-level technicians are trained in formal institutions. There is therefore the need to train more qualified middle-level personnel with appropriate skills to propel the economy forward. Graduate unemployment has increased just because most of them do not have any employable skills that can make them self-sustained. We should try as much as we can to lift the image of vocational and technical training.
Meanwhile, headmaster of the school, Ulysses Nkrumah, is asking parents to liaise with career counselors to choose appropriate career for their wards.
If you order people to do something that they don't understand, they won't give it all they have got. Parents should at all times seek career guidance from experts to guide the selection of programs. They should be guided by the understanding of the science of the times to know the best course and program to select. They should build consensus with their wards in the selection of educational and training programs. These measures are necessary to guide the selection of the type of education and training which will be useful and relevant to the future of their wards.
Reporting for Joy News, see Deborah.
Yes, so here on News Today on Joy News, your election headquarters. When we come back, we'll bring you the latest in the world of business with Emmanuel Abwajiri. Don't go away.